5.5 back. The Cubs matched up against the Buccos at PNC Park, and it was the Cubbies who came away victorious. Final score was 6-2. Nate Shearholtz turned in a nice performance offensively with 3 base hits. Edwin Jackson was victorious on the mound and picked up his 10th win of the season. He is among the NL leaders in shutouts. Right now, the Pirates are in 3rd place in the NL Central, 4.5 games back. The Cubs are at the bottom of the division. They're over 20 games out of 1st. The Colorado Rockies did battle with the Cards at St. Louis's Busch Stadium. The Cardinals grabbed the win, the final 4-3. Carlos Martinez grabbed the win in relief, his 5th on the year. At the moment, the Cardinals sit in 2nd place in the National League Central, only a half game back. The Rockies sit in 2nd place in the National League West Division, but they currently hold a spot in the NL wildcard race. The San Francisco Giants were in Phoenix to take on the D-backs, and the Giants came away with the win. The final was 5-4. Gregor Blanco was a force at the plate, driving in 3 runs. Tim Lincecum threw well enough to earn his 9th W of the year. Heading into today, the Diamondbacks sit in 4th place in the National League West. They're 13.5 out of 1st place. The Giants are at the bottom of the division. They're over 20 games out of 1st. The San Diego Padres paid visit to the City of Angels to take on the Dodgers, and the Padres came away with the win in extra innings. The final was 5-4. Looking at the standings, the Dodgers sit in 1st place in the National League West Division. They own a 2.5 game advantage. The Padres are 3rd in the division, 13 games out. The Minnesota Twins took on the Bronx Bombers in the Big Apple, and it was the boys from the Bronx who were victorious. Score was 4-1. Todd Lasseter was dominant on the bump, grabbing the victory with a complete game effort. As of today, the Yankees are in 3rd place in the AL East, 12.5 games back. The Twins sit in last place in the American League Central Division. They're over 20 games out of 1st. The Orioles paid visit to the Bluebirds in Toronto, and it was the boys from north of the border who were victorious. The final score was 3-2. Right now, the Blue Jays sit in last place in the American League East Division. They're over 20 games out of 1st. The Orioles are 2nd in the division, 6.5 games back. The Rays paid visit to the Red Sox in Beantown, and it was the Rays who came away victorious, 7-0. Chris Archer earned the victory on the mound and had the strikeout pitch working as he racked up 12 in this one. His ERA is currently in the top 5 in the American League. Heading into today, the Red Sox are in 4th place in the AL East, 14 games back. The Rays are atop the division. They are enjoying a comfortable 6.5 game cushion. The Cleveland Indians paid visit to the Tigers in the Motor City, and the game wore on to extra innings with the Indians coming away with the win. The final was 6-3. Justin Sellers led the charge offensively with 3 RBIs in the contest. Mark Zepchenski earned the win on the mound, his 11th of the year. At the moment, the Tigers sit in 3rd place in the American League Central, 10 games out of 1st. The Indians are atop the division, 6 games up on 2nd place. The Chicago White Sox paid visit to the City of Fountains to take on the Royals, and the White Sox were the victors. Final score was 5-2. As of today, the Royals are in 2nd place in the AL Central, but they currently hold a spot in the AL wildcard race. The White Sox are 4th in the division, 12.5 games back. The Oakland Athletics did battle with the Rangers in North Texas, and it was the Rangers who came away victorious. The final score was 3-2. Prince Fielder was hot at the plate, collecting 3 hits in the game. He is currently among the AL leaders in batting average. Alexi Ogando was victorious on the mound and picked up his 10th win of the season. Right now, the Rangers are in 1st place in the AL West. They are more than 10 games ahead of 2nd. The A's are 2nd in the division, but they currently lead the AL wildcard race. The Mariners were in Houston to take on the Astros. Seattle was victorious, the final 6-4. Robinson Cano showed off his power, blasting 2 home runs and picking up 3 RBIs in the process. His modest hitting streak was also extended to 5 straight games. Chris Young was impressive on the bump, earning his 12th victory of the season in the process. His ERA is currently in the top 5 in the American League. Heading into today, the Astros are in last place in the AL West. They're over 20 games out of 1st. The Mariners are 4th in the division. They're over 20 games out of 1st. Thanks for tuning in today. We'll be back here tomorrow and all season long.